care about the environment just because the environment is necessary for every single thing that we all care about. He's the leader for the moment that we need to stand up to Donald Trump.
Who is Bruce Fanjoy? Never heard of him before. Well, he's the guy who beat Pierre Poilievre in Carlton, took over his area, and he's on the radio. He came on the radio, give him his dues. He did an interview. How did he win? How did he win that? How did he win it? People were saying that, they brought in that they changed the area, so he had to. He had a very liberal size area that was now voting. But yeah, let's tune into him and let's have a listen to what he said in the interview. First of all, can you believe you actually won?
It's sunk in. When you're working on something for as long as we've been working on this, it sinks in early, and so we were confident going into the election. So it didn't come as a surprise, and that's because we'd been working on the process of winning for over 2 years.
So then he was asked, why did he decide to run? Why did he run in the Carlton area?
Well, first of all, this was never in my plans originally to run for office. What I saw was that Canada was going to be facing a historic election in our next election, and Carlton was in a unique opportunity to make a difference in the direction of the country. So, it wasn't that I wanted to do this necessarily, or I saw myself doing it, but I just saw that history had an appointment with Carlton, and someone needed to challenge him.
So 2 years ago, he would have been joining a Trudeau Liberal government, not a Carney Liberal government. He was asked then, would he have worked alongside Trudeau?
Of course, yeah. I think that I recognize that the mood of the nation was very different at that time, but I think that in Carlton it was always a little bit different because Pierre Poilievre is a big name in this riding, and not everyone has a favorable view of him. But it doesn't matter who you are. You need to win your seat if you want a seat in the House of Commons. And prior to the election, although people thought it was always going to be his, I knew that he had as many votes as I did, which was 0, and he was never here. I live in the riding. I knocked on 15,000 doors before the election was even called, and I think that there was a sense amongst many people in Carlton that Pierre was taking Carlton for granted, and nobody likes to be taken for granted.
As we all know by now, the Carlton area of Ottawa was expanded to a new area. So from all the time that Poilievre had the area, it was a certain area, and now it got expanded larger to another area. He was asked, does he think that made a difference to the voting demographic, with them going for him rather than Poilievre? And he was also asked, because of Poilievre being the leader, could it have been because he was out campaigning everywhere? He was never in the Carlton area during the run-up to the election.
Yeah, well, I want to address the first part of your point before I get into the second part. Yes, it's not unusual for a leader to have to spend a lot of time outside of the riding, and people will respect that if they have a record of accomplishment, either in the riding or at a national level. But 20 years of opportunity for Pierre Poilievre to accomplish something for Carlton or for Canada, and there really wasn't anything to show for it. That's why people started to question what he was contributing. The new territory was, probably would have favored Pierre more than us. The difference is, I showed up there. We went into the new parts of the riding, and we're very active there. Had special events there, canvas there. People got to know me, and Pierre was never there once.
So then he was asked, has Mark Carney given him a call yet? Considering you just beat Mark Carney's nemesis.
I'm going to be speaking with him today.
Then he was asked, does he think that Mark Carney will hold a position for him in the caucus, or is he expected to go and sit nicely in the Parliament and debate things with the big chief, Mark Carney?
I'm just focused on being as effective an MP for Carlton as I can. It's been a long time since they've had that kind of representation. I'll be crisscrossing the riding, meeting with residents, with community groups, with businesses, farmers, not-for-profits, and listening to their concerns and finding out how best I can serve them.
One thing you probably don't know about Bruce Fanjoy is he's well into his environmental things, his causes, and the net zero agenda and everything that really Mark Carney stands for. So he was asked about working with Mark Carney on the net zero and global climb thing. I don't like saying on here. Basically, is he going to work with him with this phenomenon that's going around with the weather?
So I care about the environment just because the environment is necessary for every single thing that we all care about. Our jobs, our economy, loved ones, the air we breathe, and the water we drink. That's why I care about the environment. I think it's just central to everything for us, and we have to meet it. He's the leader. Mark Carney is the leader for this moment. There's so the Liberal government under his leadership will define the priorities moving forward.
Well, Mark Carney did say that the weather is a priority, and everything that he does, the weather will be involved. Anything that alters the weather, it's going to be a priority for this Liberal government. He was asked, would you run along that? Are you supporting everything of that? Or are you going to stand up for yourself and, if you have issues, you're going to say, look, no, this is what I think, I should do this. Are you going to be independent? Are you going to stand up for yourself, or are you going to be a Liberal sheeple?
Well, I've always been a team player, so there's nothing I've heard that I can't follow. He's the leader for the moment that we need to stand up to Donald Trump. But that's what Canadians want their government to be focused on, and we're going to work with other parliamentarians as well. I think that it's time for unity, not division.
Wow. Well, he couldn't go a whole interview without mentioning Donald Trump at least once, could he? Hey, I suppose Donald Trump did help Carney win the election at something, and Carney was Donald Trump's choice of leader in Canada. So, yeah, Donald Trump got what he wanted, eventually. Anyway, yeah. So now you know more about Bruce Fanjoy. Not that you're going to hear much of him or about him, but that's the guy who beat Poilievre into his place. It's good to know who he is. He's basically a carbon copy of Carney. A Carney copy of Carney. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. See you on the next one.